I'm going to have a look at a few more tools that we have at Bookie Bashing. Match XG, Detailed Games, and Shots on Targets. These are really 3 football database tools that we have. Now, we use a lot of this information at Bookie Bashing to work out value. And the value sits on our trackers. We have a coupons tracker, a bet tracker, and to work out a lot of the bets on those trackers, we need to know the expected goals in games. And the expected goals comes from this Match XG database. Down here tonight, we've got 2 Champions League games, Benfica and Atletico Madrid matches. We see that the over 2.5 price on the exchange is 1.69 for the Benfica match and 2.42. And what that equates to is an XG of 3.07 in the Benfica match. So there is a relationship between the over 2.5 price and XG, and we use that relationship to project a XG of 3.07 for the Benfica match, XG of 2.33 for the Atletico Madrid match. We can even split that between any kind of split, the first half, the second half, or any minute split in the match. So, for example, between the 20th and the 30th minute, we expect 0.29 goals. In the Benfica match, we have the Champions League here, we have the Europa League. Nothing today because it's all tomorrow. So if I select all instead of just today, we see all the Europa League games with all of the XGs for these games. You see the English Premier League is 11 out of 12. That means that 11 matches are populated, one is not. The one that is not is on Sunday. We usually have all matches in the next 72 hours populated. These numbers, they come from the exchange if the exchange is liquid for the over 2.5 price. If it isn't liquid, we will manually enter a price in. However, the Sunday game is just a little bit too far in the future. Now, you see all these different leagues that we have. We have the German Bundesliga and the Italian Serie A. These are 5 out of 10, meaning that, they're about half the games are liquid. The Friday, Saturday ones, the Sunday ones, we're just waiting on that. And that's really where the Match XG comes from. If we wanted to use this little calculator here, we can work out the odds, the fair odds of over 0 goals, 1 goal, 2 goals, etc. Right? And we can look today, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, and, all games. I could even copy all of this to CSV. I can go over to Microsoft Excel, paste this data in, and now I've got all of this data here. If I did text to columns, I would be able to interrogate this data in my own model. Going back to Bookie Bashing. So that's the Match XG database. The next one I want to have a look at is Detailed, and that sort of links in. So we'll see here by Genoa Inter, which is in 2 days' time, 8 p.m. on Friday. This is a detailed game. Detailed game means that we don't just have goals, but we've got corners and we've got cards, and we split the goals by team. Now, it may be a bit too early to look at this match. I don't actually know if that match has data or not, but what I do know is that the Champions League tonight certainly will have data. So let's do that. I could use this little link here, but also I could just go to Tools, into Detailed Games, and I can see a list of all of the detailed games. The Bookie Bashing team put this list together every day. It's all the primary games, a lot of the secondary games. So not only do we have Champions League, Premier League, we've got Scottish Premiership, we've got English Championship, we've got the Colombian Cup later on tonight as well. If I go into the Champions League, Benfica versus Ajax, what we see here is a list of lines under the Detailed Games page. We've got home win and away win. We've got the draw. We've got over goals lines. These all come from the exchange. We've got both teams to score. We've got the Match XG, the home and away XG, first half XG, corners. We've got some calculators here to help calculate the over. We've got first half corners, home first half corners, booking points, cards, even shots on target down here. We can copy. We got penalty. We've got sending off, which is 5.0 on the exchange. And again, we can copy all of this information. We can actually copy all of the information for every game into CSV, we can go over to Excel and we can copy and paste all of the lines for every single game into Excel. I mean, this will be a lot of data. Thousands of rows of data in here. Chelsea, Liverpool in a few days' time. Away first half, XG 0.57. As we get closer to this match, the corners, the cards, they will appear as the markets get more liquid. We take all of this information from the markets that are out there. We average it from a number of different sources so that if any one source was a bit out, by taking it from an average of a number of sources, it means we're always getting a pretty good price and a pretty good estimation. If I go back to bookie bashing, the third database I wanted to have a look at was shots on target. And it opens up this graph. Sometimes this can take a little bit of time to load. It's just when there's a lot of data, it just takes a few seconds to load into the browser. We see a list of games, loads of players. And again, we take this data from multiple sources. So if any one source is out on a particular player, over large amounts of data, it will even itself out. And we see here that Weghorst is expected to have 0.82 shots on target. We got some for the match, home and away. We've even got a little calculator up here. So let's pick up that Burnley-Tottenham game. We could say Kane to have over one shot on target is 2.49. We could change that to one or more is 1.34. We could have a look on the exchange, see how that's trading on the exchange. We could back higher, we could lay lower. Tell the tool Kane plays for Tottenham. We could then add in perhaps another player. We could add in Son for Tottenham. And now each player to have one or more shots on target is 1.82. We're including now inclusivity coefficients in that. So the calculator is considering the fact that these two players play for the same team. So Harry Kane getting shots on target takes action away from Son. And that's included. If we had two different teams here, the coefficients would be slightly different, right? We could have the total over both players, 3 or more shots at target. The odds of that tonight is 2.45, so we can include that. If we take Son out of the equation, we can even have a look at Harry Kane to have over 2 shots on target in the match. In the first half is 42.13. We can change his expected playing time, which will change the calculation. Oddly, actually, as you change it down to 85 minutes, the odds get better. And that's because he's condensing more of his shots on target into the first half there from the same expected shots on target. We could even do headed shots on target. What the tool asks for is it asks the user to provide a relevant headed goal percentage. Let's say that's 50%. Let's change that to the match. So Harry Kane to have 3 or more headed shots on target is 30.36 if he gets 50% of his shots on targets with his head. That's up to you to define. We could do second half. We could do each half 36,000 to 1 for him to get lots of headers tonight against Burnley. So these 3 tools, the goals, the detailed, and the shots of target, they all feed in to the bet builder where we can create bets from these databases, send them over to the bet tracker and have these numbers tracked live. So as the market's changed, if the source of data that we get this information from changes, the shots on target will change, all of the odds and the probability will change, and the coefficients will change if we're in combined bets, and these feed through to the trackers. We can have a look at the return on investment in the hub. A lot of these goals bets are on the bet tracker. We've got over 14,000 bets on the bet tracker that we can have a look at. Historically, we've even got a data gathering exercise in the shots on target where we are documenting all prices on the exchange. We're going to collect thousands of these and we're comparing them against the fair odds that we have in the shots on target tool at bookiebashing.net. So that's just a number of the live databases under tools that we have under the one subscription at bookiebashing.net.